back. Before we left, we were talking about how the lady, the Spanish lady, I assume she was, had got her arm bit off by the tiger. This is one thing I noticed about it that made me think either all of it wasn't true or it all was true and they shot some footage later on to make it look like it was present, like a reenactment in a sense. Because if you remember when the girl got her arm bit off, it looked like she had short hair. She came back to work, was getting interviewed, and the guy was like, "You're back here 7 days later," and she had a full head of hair, bro. She had like longer hair. That's not happening in 7 days. I don't care if you're female or male. So that made me think that they either shot the scene because it was never on camera when she got her arm bit. You understand? And I can understand that. You know what I mean?
Well, it wasn't, but that's not what it was. So it was the fence that ripped her arm, not the tiger had bit it and ran it through the fence, and the fence ripping it up, ripping it. So it didn't like bite and then like take her arm off like a Jaws type sequence. So,
but see that's once again I don't understand how Joe and everybody was so comfortable with the Tigers, and why they almost had like a relationship like that with them, but the people working there maybe didn't have the same type of deal going on. I don't know. You know, but that was wild to me. I wouldn't have went back to working at the
shoot another one, teeth train wreck.
Oh yeah. Everybody at Joe's park, except for maybe Travis, the one kid that he was with.
No, the guy with no legs. His teeth were like, and
yeah,
they might have been dentures though.
Mm-hmm. They did look like dentures to me. Honestly, they looked a little too perfect.
Right.
Remember, he stopped working at the zoo, was working at a garage, and had his little
he quit.
RV
trailer. But that's after. Like he quit when that Jeff dude took over. Like he was like, nah, I didn't want to be a part of that.
Yeah,
and coincidentally,
Jeff was a scumbag.
He knew the most about what was going on at the park, and they refused to let him testify.
Yeah, that's true.
And then remember the campaign dude, he was like, they basically threatened me straight away. Said, I'm either on Team Joe or I'm on Team Government.
Yeah.
Like, that's not too much of a choice.
That was also the guy that witnessed Travis's, what do you call it? Do you even call it a suicide?
Yeah, that's a suicide.
Yeah.
It's accidental suicide, but.
And that was another thing that got me, by the way. You telling me that he just stayed off camera on purpose the whole time and accidentally shot himself? That kind of got me too. Like,
well, there was a lot of reenactment parts, so like, because they even reenacted when Joe got arrested. That wasn't him getting arrested. Okay. So there was a lot of reenactments type stuff situations. So it could possibly have been, but yeah, definitely a crazy documentary.
Oh man, one of the most insane. So once again.
If you like craziness, can't get no better.
Oh, then Tiger King?
Yeah.
No, but Evil Genius, like I was mentioning before, is right there. You gotta watch it.
What's it about? Give me a
Evil Genius. Years ago, you might remember this. It was a guy that walked into a bank with a bomb strapped to his neck. Okay, it looked like the thing from Wild Wild West. If you ever seen it,
I haven't seen it.
Covered with a T-shirt. He had a note and a cane, a walking stick. Said, give me however much money or this bomb's going to go off. He was a pizza delivery guy. Somebody actually put the bomb around his neck. This isn't something he concocted. So the police, you remember, right?
No, that's the plot of, there's a movie like that.
Okay, they probably based it off the idea of that.
What is it
called? Nonetheless, right? The police run up on this guy. And they got him like over there and they're behind the car with the guns trained on. He's like, listen, guys, I didn't do this to myself. Somebody put this on me. All of a sudden it starts beeping. He's like, guys, I don't think I have much time left. The bomb squad's trying to get up the road, but the road was so jammed up and the police didn't know whether to believe him or not. So, boom, it goes off, blows his head off. Mm-hmm. Okay. You start to find out during the documentary who were the people involved in that. And also that it just isn't that. There's the rabbit hole is way deeper than that. I don't want to give away anything because it's worth watching. But basically it's this deep rabbit hole where there's more murder and deception and, whatnot going on with the story. So
Yeah, there's legit like a comedy. It has Aziz Ansari, Jesse Eisenberg, the dude that plays Lex.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like he has
they put a bomb around his neck.
No, not around. The dude, Danny McBride, dude from Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound and Down.
So his dad won millions in the lottery, and they want to kill the dad off so they can get the money and start a strip club or something like that. And so they concoct this thing where they'll have somebody rob a bank to pay off the hitman. So they strap the bomb to his chest, and he basically has to rob a bank. Him and Aziz end up robbing the bank, getting away with the money, and then blah 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 blah. But yeah, that's like as soon as you
it's
said,
probably based off of that. Now I think,
but that's comedy. It's not.
I think this happened somewhere in Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken.
This girl, Selena's here today. Everybody, she's trying to get on camera. Now she's on camera. All right, you can wave and say hi, then go back upstairs. All right. Get out of here. Go, seriously. She wasn't supposed to come home today, but she did, so it happens.
Yeah.
So if you like crazy stuff, you like
it has a little bit of everything.
Everything. Crazy plot twists. There's everything in it. Interesting characters. You name it, it's in there. So, check it out. It's called, what is it? Tiger Man or Tiger King. Tiger King, yes. It will take up 6 hours of your life, but it's worth it. Definitely worth it. All right. Selena, seriously. You're about to get yourself in trouble. This is why you teachers need to go back to work. But that's actually a good segue into the COVID or coronavirus update. We've been on quarantine here for actually a little less than a week. Tuesday will make it a week since we went into quarantine.
Well, do you want to consider when the school shut down? Because I think the school's been shut down for 2 weeks now.
Yeah. So schools were shut down before the actual lockdown.
Right.
Excuse me. Schools were shut down before the actual lockdown. I don't know how effective the lockdown is. I mean, if I look out my window at the park is full of kids right now. They're all playing. Not
really effective because they're not really enforcing it yet. You see what I'm saying? But as soon as they do enforce it, people will be hurt. Now, I don't know if I'm fortunate or unfortunate. I think it's a little bit of both. My job is considered essential employment, so I got a note I'm supposed to pull out if I get pulled over by law enforcement or what have you. I know right now they're not doing that.
No. In certain areas at certain times, like
I know in Kansas City, Missouri, I have a Facebook friend who's an officer in Kansas City, and they're giving people tickets. They're not arresting anybody or anything like that, which I don't even know if they literally can, but they're giving tickets.
Well, they can't under state emergency, yeah.
Yeah, they're giving tickets out for it, which, nice way government to make some money. You know, you give people tickets. We don't care about keeping you safe. We're going to give you a ticket. You can keep going. We'll give you another ticket. We don't care if you stay home or not.
You know, right. So. And you can't go to court. And you can't go to court to fight it. Shit.
Right.
But yeah, it seems like still a lot of traffic at grocery stores, and unfortunately for me, at least, I go grocery shopping monthly, right. And this is the end of the month coming up, so I legit have to go.
But hold on, I went Friday. I go weekly, okay, and I will say there was more food, there was more water, paper towels and toilet paper still seems to be, hand sanitizer. Lysol wipes, all of that seems to be the hot item right now. But it seems like food and water has kind of.
Well, that's because almost every store has a restriction. You can only get, like, for example, I drink out of a gallon jugs. I would get 6 at a time. Been doing that forever. And now you can only get 1 gallon of water. So.
I meant to tell you, me and my buddy Sir Blanco went to Walmart, and I got pissed. Okay, so I had to go use the bathroom. He goes get a case of water, and a case of 3-gallon jugs came in a case, right? So I get over. He's like, "Yo, bro, I want to get 2." You know what I mean? Like, will you? I'll give you the money to buy it from. I said, "Yeah, but we gonna go in there. We gonna tell them we 2 separate people, and it's on 1 card." You know what I mean? Man, these people. Lady was like, "Oh, are y'all separate?" "Yes, ma'am." "Oh, okay, cool." So we get the line. "Are y'all separate?" "Yes." So a guy comes over to ring us up with a scanner. He's like, "You guys separate?" I said, "Yes, but we're going to pay on the same card." "Oh, I can't do that." I got so mad because I had said we're separate like 3 times. I slapped my face. The guy looked at me, Cam, and said, "I'm only doing my job." I said, "I respect that. I don't have a problem doing what you do in your job, but if we pay on a card or not, we're 2 separate people." You know what I mean? What difference does it? But he was very adamant about it, and he ended up giving me a different card of his than he was using. And I put it in, and it asked for the PIN number. I'm like, "Dude, you gotta put the PIN number in." So he did it in front of me anyway. The guy still knows that he's buying it regardless. So what was the point of going through all that? I get it. That's your job. That's what they're telling you to do. But if me and Cam walked in the store, regardless, we're 2 different people. We're allowed 1 each. So why not? You understand what I'm saying? It just seemed like it was redundant.
It makes sense that you can't put it on. So it's going to come out on the same receipt.
Oh, okay. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? In that respect, I get it. I understand it. Regardless whether you pay differently, it's still going to show there's 3 sets of gallons on that 1 receipt. So, yeah. Okay. I get that.
Right. See, I didn't think of it that way. So, guy at Walmart, my apologies. Which I did say I understand you doing your job. It wasn't like I was just a complete jerk. But,
right. And I think it's just frustration with the way things have to be, and just that it even come to this, that ultimately the frustration is with those people that went crazy and started ordering stuff in the beginning. Now everybody is suffering and being punished for those people that were hoarding in the beginning.
And the way the guy said it to me, I think he's been snapped on a few times.
I went down. I went down.
But my buddy ended up getting his water. I will say also, giving another update, me and my buddy that same day went to Cabela's. We were trying to buy ammo. 9mm was all sold out, 45, bunch of different calibers. However, I was able to find birdshot, which is like the weakest version of shotgun ammo. So I picked up a box of birdshot. Then I said to him, "Hey, we can go over to Newcastle Gun Shop and see if they got anything." Go over to Newcastle Gun Shop. They got a line that's very ignorant. So we went to X-Ring Supply. The line wasn't that bad. We get in line. We're sitting there, and as we get closer, a lady comes out. She's like, "What are you guys trying to buy? I only got a 38 special handgun left, a couple 22 long rifle, and a 22 long rifle revolver." I'm like, when she said that, I said, "Look, do you have buckshots? Do you have 12-gauge buckshots?" She's like, "Yes." I said, "Any 9mm ammo?" "No." I said, "Okay, cool." Ended up buying the buckshots. My buddy went in there and bought a couple P-Mags or Pro Mags for his AR-15. And he did buy... Did he buy... He bought some type of ammo. I think it was 22 long rifle. Okay. I will say I was a little worried about the 9mm ammo. Now, I'm not going to say my buddy's name, but I had a buddy of mine I called up because I was pretty sure he stockpiles ammo. And I called him up. I said, "Hey, buddy, do you got a box of 9mm you wouldn't, mind selling?" He said, I got a... He was like, "A box of 50? I said, "Yeah, that'll work for starters." He was like, "Yeah, of course, no charge." I said, "Oh, thank you, man." And then he said, "Hey, you got any slugs for the shotgun?" I was like, "No, I got buckshot and birdshot." Went over there to pick up the 9mm ammo. He gave me a box of slugs as well. Then he told me, "Oh, you've actually met this friend."
Okay.
Okay. Then he told me that he was going to order some 9mm defense ammo, which is a stronger version of 9mm ammo. And he's like, look, I'll give you like half the box, when I get it. I was like, man, thank you. And this is all no charge, and I was willing to pay him. So,
right.
My man, you know who you are. If you're watching right now, which I don't think you are, when everything get back to normal, I'm going to take you out to lunch and do something for you, because that was very decent of him. And like I said, I wanted to pay him for the ammo. He's like, no charge.
Right.
Didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? Just, here you go. Because he asked me when I got it, he was like, are you taking it to range? I said, heck no, man. I'm getting it for these fools if they act the fool, And he was like, oh, got you. And no hesitation, man. So, my man, I owe you a lot.
Yeah, so, Amazon is Amazon. Luckily, I work from Amazon, for Amazon from home. So, no real change for me.
But did the warehouse workers get any kind of...
Yeah, so, basically, they don't get in trouble if they don't show up. They got a $2 raise. Until all this is over, I guess. And then they are making double overtime. So it's overtime is not time and a half anymore. All right, everybody. We're having technical difficulties today because of dogs and children. You got a 6-year-old kid, and you're down filming. No matter how much you ask them very nicely, they're intrigued and have to be stern daddy sometimes. But nevertheless, we were talking about the coronavirus update, talking about Amazon, talking about just how different places are doing stuff. And one thing I noticed, here's what I've noticed about myself, just personally. If I get a tickle in my throat, if I stomach doesn't start feeling right, then you almost
do I have something? Start
panicking like, oh man, is this the start of it? And we're in Delaware. The weather has been changing. I think 2 days ago, we were short sleeves and shorts and had all the windows open in the house, and then it was cold and rainy. Now today it was chilly but wet, and I think we're going through weather changes, which is contributing to people getting those feelings of being sick, but it's not necessarily the, coronavirus symptoms. But then you're like, well, I don't even really know.
Well, you got to think about it too. From my understanding, I don't have bad allergies, but supposedly it's allergy season too.
I've had a tickle in my throat for 2 days, and I'm like, yo, what the hell is this tickle? And they're like, yo, bro, you got allergies.
But you got to think about it. Did you cough and sneeze before the coronavirus pandemic? I know I did. I get times of coughing, You know what I mean? So when I cough, I don't, but I am looking, when I cough, I do look for that dry cough. I will say that. But, people are going to panic because, this is a time of panic, but it's also a time to try to stay calm because, look at the freakouts. You don't have toilet paper because of the freak out. Hand sanitizer is hard to find. I understand stores closing early to clean, and I actually appreciate that. Kudos to all the stores that shut down to clean and wipe. I've seen people wiping the metal handle. From my understanding, folks, metal is what it seems to live on. The germs, supposedly. Yeah, anything. But I heard metal is even worse for some reason. I don't know verbatim. I've heard that story. I don't know.
Yeah, I know Acme's been wiping down the handles on like their freezer aisles and all that stuff.
And I definitely appreciate that.
And they do it while you're there too. Yeah. So it's not even
same thing with Wawa. I've seen a guy come out, wipe it down, and I told him I appreciate it, but I don't think he appreciated me telling him that because he didn't even respond. But
well, I'll tell you what I don't appreciate what people are fucking up doing, and it's pissing me off. And if you do this, you're a piece of shit. Taking your mask and gloves off and throwing them on the ground in the parking lot when you leave.
You're a shithead if you do that.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're absolutely an asshole if you do that, bar none. I also want to salute, and I hate to toot my own horn, I want to salute the truck drivers that are out there getting things where they need to go. I want to salute anybody working their job, you know, whether it's McDonald's, even the drive-throughs open for McDonald's. There's people that's able to get, you know, food. I'm not saying McDonald's is the best food,
right? But at this time, if you go to the grocery store, they don't got no meat. What else can you do?
Right.
Like this is not diet. Eat how you've always eaten. This is like survival eating at this point.
So anybody,
for some people,
anybody who's working at this moment and providing a service, I salute you. For the people who have lost their jobs due to this, I'm very sorry. I definitely have is empathy or sympathy, empathy for you. You know, I wish it wasn't like this. You know what I mean? I wish we could have got ahead of this somehow, knowing that it was coming from, you know, China, or that.
I mean, yeah, we saw it hit China and Italy before us. So
yeah, I wish we had got ahead of this. I think we had the technology and knowledge to do it. There's still not, from my understanding, an actual antidote or a cure or whatever you want to
vaccine.
call it.
It would be a vaccine for a virus, yeah. But it's also mutated 9 different times now. So that's another problem. That it keeps mutating, so you can't have a vaccination because the strains keep mutating, which makes it crazy. But again, it does have a pretty high survival rate. It has an even higher survival rate if you keep your ass in the house and don't expose yourself as much. There are people that have to go to the grocery store. It just is. Like I said, on Tuesday, I have to go to the grocery store myself just to get, you know, my monthly.
I drive to different electric companies throughout the week, you know, and, you know, it's a small amount of people to have to deal with, but still you are pretty much being outside of your home. You are in some kind of, I don't know if I want to use the word danger, but for lack of a better term, you are at some type of risk. You're
putting yourself in some at risk.
Yeah, that'd be the
for sure. Healthcare workers are putting themselves at risk every day.
And salute to the healthcare workers. You know, we definitely appreciate you making an effort to try to get this thing under control. All I can say is, people, do your part. Right. You know, don't leave any gloves, mask, or whatever. Throw them in the trash.
Right.
Okay? Practice social distancing. Right? You know, just do your part, because this thing could get worse or it could get better.
Or it could slow down.
Yeah.
Like, slowing it, we've already eclipsed what China had, what Italy had. We have more cases than any other country in the world now.
I don't know if the China thing's true, though. I hate to get a little bit political, but I heard that they've stopped really kind of reporting, and I don't know how true that is. I'm not on that side, but
right.
You know,
I mean, I don't either, but I mean, all the reports are that we've eclipsed.
And one other piece of information I want to put out there: I had a sister of mine, a friend off of my Facebook, think that I was taking the coronavirus lightly. I'm not. From my understanding, there's 3 different masks out there that do supposedly work with this. And that's supposed to be an N95 rated mask, an N99, and a P100. I don't know if you can get a hold of any of those. If you can, great, you know. But from my understanding, the little surgical mask doesn't really work.
Better than nothing, but
better than nothing, and you can, I guess, help spreading anything by wearing it. But it's not the end all be all, from what I understand.
Right. I mean, handkerchiefs people are putting on, which again is better than nothing, but whatever.
Use paper towels when you can. I heard the gas pump, even the metal on the gas pump.
I've always had an issue with gas pumps. So I think gas pumps are filthy.
At Wawa, not every gas station, they have the paper towels right there, right at the squeegee thing or what have you. You can pull paper towels out, use those.
Yeah, I use gloves.
Use your arm or whatever, your closed arm to open, metal doors or what have you.
And some of the places are getting good about installing like doors that you can open with your foot. Okay. There's a little arm thing that you put your arm in and you can push. So some of the stores are getting good about putting those in. But if you don't have to go get groceries, keep your ass at home. I think people are going to get groceries just to get groceries.
I definitely go when the food run out.
I think there's a extreme difference. Like I said, I shop monthly, and it's getting to be the end of the month.
What's up, John Bartley?
It just is. It's like that time for me. Yeah. So, is what it is. I'm gonna go. I don't know if I'll mask up, but I will probably. I think it's getting to the point here in Delaware where it's spreading really fast and rapidly. I think we're up to 5 deaths or 8 deaths, somewhere around there. And just shit, this last week on our podcast, I think it was only 8 or 9 cases in Delaware. Now we're up to over 200 and somewhere between 5 and 8 deaths. So it is worth it. I do have gloves. I've always keep gloves. It's at least worth it to wear the gloves.
Yeah.
And
you know,
take the gloves off. This is easy for you people who are throwing them on the ground. Let me help y'all out. Once you put your groceries in the car, take the gloves off. Before you touch your door handle, take the gloves off. Walk them over to the trash can. Put them in the trash can. Come back to your car, and then boom, you're good. Put the gloves on before you get out of your car. I wipe down the handles maybe once a day, maybe once every 2 days. The front door, all that type of stuff is getting wiped down. So that stuff in my car and my house is all wiped down and clean. So I'm not really worried about it. Once I get the gloves in the trash there, and boom, leave them alone.
Yeah. And I would say people be considerate of other people. That's really important at this time. I'm not saying go out your way to do anything, but something as simple as, like he said, with the gloves, with the mask, throw them in the trash. If you open the door with, your arm or whatever, with your clothed arm or whatever, and there's somebody behind you, hold the door open for them. That's not going to hurt you. Hold the door open for them.
That wouldn't be. I would use my foot.
Well, foot, whatever the case is.
But then again, we're telling everybody 6 feet apart, so that person should technically wait their turn. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But that's on. I mean, if you're in that situation, you gotta kind of make a judgment call. Is it a dick move to let the door slam on their face, or is it worth it enough to just be like, hey? In most places, the door's automatic anyway.
Yeah.
I don't go in too many places where you gotta open the door.
Just be courteous. Don't buy a bowl of toilet paper either. I just saw something where this lady went to Dollar General and bought every piece of toilet paper and paper towels. This was on TMC. Bought every piece.
Which is weird because most places don't even allow you to buy that.
Yeah, and you're not going to go through that much, I don't think, in that time. But with that...
Well, they resell them. They just...
Yeah, resell them.
They're jacking up the price and reselling it, and that's a dick move.
That's a dick move. And I'm getting kind of dark over here.
Yeah, you're going to lose your life, so you... Mark's going to be all... Well, actually, the charger is right there.
Yeah, but where's the plug?
There's one over there. You can just grab the one from over there and plug in if you want to. So basically, with the coronavirus, don't be a dick. Like, come on now. We're all in this. We're all friggin'... we all got to go through this together. So, if it affects you, it affects me. If it affects me, it affects you. That type of thing. This thing don't got no... coronavirus ain't got no feelings. I can tell you that right now.
And another thing, there was a guy that supposedly sneezed on a girl of mine and said he had the coronavirus. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you this. If you do that and you get shot, I will have no sympathy for you whatsoever. So be careful who you doing it to. You might get your ass whooped real bad.
Well, think about it. A man did it to a woman.
Right.
It wasn't a man doing it to another man.
Yeah, but that woman might turn around and kill you just the same. You don't know what she got on her.
True.
This is a time where people really worried, man, and people are panicking, which like I said...
I mean, it's called a pandemic. You're supposed to be not panicked, but you're supposed to at least exercise.
I get panicked, but people are overly panicked. So you keep playing these games, and you're going to get stupid prizes. Be careful, everybody.
Yeah. All right.
Time out or we out?
Either or.
Peace, y'all.